from the offense as a whole. To be honest, O-line did their thing. Created some explosives in the pass game. Um, that really opened up the run a little bit. So, we just got to continue to keep establishing that identity of, staying ahead of the change and, playing our brand of football.
Seth, as an offense, just how much did you guys need a game like this to fill some momentum?
Yeah, I think it is good for the morale of these guys to get that win, get that nasty taste out of their mouth from last week, and you take that energy into this week. Getting ready to get on the road against a pretty tough environment, South Carolina. So we're not taking any breaks. We're back at it full speed on Monday. That's most of what I'm looking forward to.
What do you think of Cutter?
I think Cutter did great. I think, he was really dialed in throughout this week. That's also kudos to Zach. I think he did a great job of, keeping his head up, keeping Cutter's, eyes focused, and, Hampton being on those guys pretty hard. Hampton's a great coach. And I don't believe any of our lack of success last week was reflective of all of the scheme or the offensive approach, the plan that we have. I think we just got to go out there and execute every single time, and that's a living thing. So. Now, Cutter did great, though. I'm super proud of him, how he stepped up. That was huge for us to know that we got two quarterbacks that's dialed in and ready to bring this team some success.
Seth, first game you scored 1 touchdown. Second game you scored 2. Third game you scored 3. How long can you keep this elevating thing going?
I mean, that's the whole goal of this game is you want to be perfect. It's not about, I didn't care about my performance last week. I don't care about my performance this week. The only thing I care about is the win. Obviously, I feel like I could have done a lot better. I feel like I still left a lot of yards out there, and that's the stuff that's got to be eliminated. We're seeking for championship football, and you can't leave any yards out there. So that's just something I got to focus on. Just keep getting better, keep focusing in, watching that film, and hopefully. Keep climbing up.
What's going to be the emphasis for you in the offense during this bye week before you get into this tough SEC play?
I think just keep this energy up, keep this momentum. We made some necessary changes last week. I feel like the communication was a lot better. I think we were a lot smoother in our operation as a whole. And like I said, I still think there's opportunities still out there. I still think there's some stuff out there. That's how I'm feeling, and I think that's kind of the message that I want all of us to be on, and we're excited about getting better this week.
How does this finally get some of those explosive plays down the field? The passing game, truly kind of been searched for a few weeks. How does it not really help you in the run game, but just kind of help the offense stay balanced and harder to defend against?
It's absolutely vital to the success of this offense. We are going to establish the run. That's not a question. But when we get to some of those bigger bodies in the interior, and some of those broken, some of those tougher opponents, it's going to pose a challenge. And I think that we continue to keep building off of what we've been building off of, and like I said, establishing those explosive plays like K-Lodge, Murray, and Harley. Both showed up huge. Super bad those guys. I've always been a big fan of those guys all year. I think, a couple games they may not, ball may not have got to them a little bit, but this game, kind of showed, what we've all been seeing since summer. What's had all of these coaches as excited about this offense as they are, and so, I'm excited to see those guys keep going, keep grinding away, and elevating this team.
It seemed like Jason stepped up tonight, ended up in the end zone once, almost twice. What have you how have you mentored him in this
that's huge. I mean, we all, like I said, we got healthy competition in that room, and I'm a guy that wants to see everybody do amazing, and Dante as well. We all know each other to thrive. And so, just coming in with that, just keeping that attitude and being critical of ourselves, you know what I'm saying? That's the result you get. A guy come in, you know, hadn't really got his feet with the first 2 games, but then, you know, you see what he's capable of. And, you know, we always aim, you know, forward tell us all the time, you know, it doesn't matter who's in the game, the production should not go down. There shouldn't be any lack of production just because a player is on the sideline. You know, we all have the same assignment, the same alignment, the same technique, you know, so, you know, I'm super happy, super proud of that guy. And I'm excited to see what he does in the future too.